In this portion of Yisro, we have the momentous event, perhaps the most significant event in our entire history, the giving of the Torah at Sinai. Now in the Haggadah, we have an interesting ode, an interesting poem. Remember it? It's Dayenu, Dayenu. And one of the things we say, Ilu kavanu lifnei haSinai, if God had brought us to the mountain of Sinai, and even if he had not given us the Torah, Dayenu, that too would have been sufficient. And the obvious question is, that doesn't seem to make any sense. The only significance of Sinai wasn't because we received the Torah. Just to have been at Sinai, a geographic place in the desert, without receiving the Torah, what good would have that done? How can we say Dayenu? That would have been sufficient. Sufficient for what? But there's an important message there. The Torah says that when the Israelites came to Sinai in preparation for receiving the Torah, Vayichan Sham Yisrael, Israel camped there, and the Hebrew word Vayichan is in the singular. He camped there. Not they camped there, but he camped there. And the Midrash tells us that the singular is used because there was such unity among the Israelites at that point that they were all as one and referred to as a single unit. And so when Moses told them that God wants to give them the Torah, they all answered in unison, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do what God commands and we will listen to what he says. They answered in unison. They were unified as one person. One person. Not 600,000. Not 3 million. They were one, referred to as a single unit. It is so tragic that our history is full of disunity. Our greatest weakness is fragmentation. Our greatest weakness that leaves us open to the hostility of our enemies is when we are not together. There's an interesting phenomenon that occurs, unfortunately, too often in Israel. And that is that when there is a terrorist attack, everybody joins together. All differences melt away. At that point, we are one. It should not take the terror and the attack of an enemy to bring us together. We achieved that at Sinai without being under threat of extinction, without being under the threat of an enemy. And that's why we say, if God had brought us to the mountain of Sinai and we achieved the unity, even if we had not received the Torah, Dayenu, that would have been sufficient. Because when Israel is one, they are invincible. Let us keep that in mind. Yes, we are all individuals, we all go our own way. We cannot afford fragmentation. Our greatest gift, our greatest virtue, that which will bring us the imminent help of God, that which will bring us miracles, is being together as one people, as we were at Sinai. So, if we had come to Sinai and not received the Torah, but because we had then formed a strong bond that we were like one unit, Dayenu, that would be sufficient for us. So let us remember that. Unity is our life's blood. Fragmentation is our destructive weakness.